this call on short notice. We have some exciting news to share with you today, and we've signed a definitive agreement to combine with one of the industry's best run and positioned growth and monetization platforms out there, IronSource. Now, with me today, we have Tomer Bar-Zeev, the founder and CEO of IronSource, Luis Visoso, our CFO, and for the Q&A part of the call, joining us are Mark Witten, SVP, GM of Unity Create, Ingrid Listillo, SVP and GM of Operate Business, and Omer Kaplan, the co-founder and CRO of IronSource. And we have a presentation to walk you through, all of us describing the transaction, and then we'll open up for some questions. Numbers-wise, Luis will go through the specifics of the combination, but he'll also provide a guidance preview of an improving but lowered full-year 2022 growth trajectory designed to proactively reflect our current assessment of macro trends, product launch, and competitive dynamics with our monetization business. But with that, let's get on to the transformative days. Start with a little bit of our shared vision. From our founding in Copenhagen in 2006 to today, Unity has had a single vision, our North Star, and that is to help creators build amazing content and later to operate and grow their businesses in the app economy. Half a world away in Tel Aviv in 2010, a team of engineers started a company whose mission is to help any app developer turn their app into a scalable, successful business. By combining massive and differentiated data at scale with an iterative design feedback loop, they took the mystery out of how hard it is to predict hit-driven game development business. That company is called IronSource. And we think it's great that when we combine Unity, we'll have two major hubs, one in Copenhagen and one in Tel Aviv, that are our foundation and just an hour apart in time zones. That brings us to today and the reason we're joining forces with IronSource. We have a huge shared vision that we plan to unlock years before either of us might otherwise have gotten to this alone. This shared vision is predicated on a few simple thoughts. First, we believe that the majority of the world's content will be real-time 3D. We see evidence of this every day in our shared market. Second, we know that only a fraction of creators today find the economic success they're looking for. And third, we are combining to realize a crisp vision years ahead of its time, where we combine creation and growth in a single platform to increase creator success. We will help creators find success consistently based on science, and not just intuition and luck. And through this, we expect to increase the success of our customers and thereby earn an increase in our take rate, first in games and in verticals beyond gaming. We'll talk you through each of these benefits later on this call, but let me summarize the key ideas we'd like you to take away from this discussion today. We tend to accelerate our path to becoming a leading end-to-end platform, combining creation and growth in a way that creates great value for our customers. Game companies and companies in industries beyond gaming will produce better content and enjoy superior user acquisition, greater customer success. We expect that this will propel their success and ours. Second, we capture three specific synergies from combining our platforms, driving greater customer success and enabling the new Unity to deliver a $1 billion EBITDA run rate by the end of 2024. And I think this may surprise some of you on this call. Our combined company will enjoy a roughly 50-50 revenue mix between our creation and growth technologies and services. The next three slides outline our vision for the Unity platform. The first slide is a high-level visualization of our plan, and the next slide is a requisite Lego block product topography. The third highlights the powerful vision we share. Now, as many of you may know, I joined Unity with 2 decades of experience in publishing games. I knew from experience that the traditional model employed by most game companies in the industry is a separated process with big silos. Traditionally, it works like this. You build your game, then there's a pre-launch testing phase, and then the focus is on marketing and user acquisition. At Unity, we were in the early stages of the evolution of the industry's business model, and once we joined forces with IronSource, we immediately improve upon and accelerate both companies' progress. But we are going after the biggest prize, a unified creation and growth platform that leads to both better and more commercially successful content and games from our customers that will bring even more innovation and success for creators of real-time 3D content. Let's take this discussion one level deeper. We will have a technical deep dive on a future Analyst Day. But for now, I'd focus your attention on how the modules complement each other and complete the platform, connecting more richly than creation and growth equation for our customers. Look closely at this slide and you'll see why we believe this is a powerful combination. Unity's strength in creation is entirely unique. We have a leading position in mobile gaming with the Unity Engine gaming services. We also have strength on the other end of the capability spectrum in monetization and user acquisition. As you can see, IronSource brings critical key capabilities in the center of the capabilities map, pulling together and strengthening the entire platform. These connecting and complementary capabilities will deliver superior value to our customers. At Unity, our ongoing goal is to provide a superset of functionality at a lower cost of ownership. If you do that, customers will pay you more, and in my experience, they'll do it in droves. Or more succinctly, we intend to substantially increase our value to our customers to help them grow their businesses to be more successful, and through this, expect to increase our industry take rate. This slide represents where we're heading. It's the bottom bar from 2 slides back of the evolution we're driving towards, shown on a flywheel. It depicts a highly integrated creation platform that helps creators in every step of the journey, from getting the core game up and running quickly to optimizing it for the largest number of users, devices, and platforms. Both Unity and IronSource could see this on the horizon. By combining forces, we pull forward this vision by several years for the benefit of creators and save millions of dollars in spending on development. Here's a few key ideas. The work of creating content and engaging users will be united in one iterative process. It will start with a piece of content, perhaps a single level for a mobile game, that will be married with sophisticated tools for user acquisition, creative testing, to enable the creator and their growth experts to understand and learn from very early indications of user engagement and monetization and the cost to acquire a user and the LTV of that user. And based on this learning, they will iterate, change aspects of the content, the advertising, the user acquisition strategies. As most experiences of the future will be live experiences, meaning the content will change over time, the process will continue. Our customers' creation and growth teams will be in a continuous process of learning and improvement. The magic is the data-informed iteration on the content to get to a higher engagement simultaneously with iteration on the UA approach, including ad content. Together, Unity and IronSource will be able to bring unprecedented value to our customers. We'll provide what every customer needs. Let me illustrate this a bit for you. I remember the first time I saw Candy Crush. To me, and most everyone I spoke to, felt it looked and felt a lot like other Match 3 games. But Candy Crush is orders of magnitude more successful in terms of user engagement and revenue. An inspired group of designers managed to develop a game with better engagement, and that made all the difference. In the game industry, this is magic, the inspiration. Everyone thinks they have it, most don't, and rarely does a team find this success twice. I've been on the front lines of this process, launch and pray, many times. Yes, do all you can to ensure you have an engaging game that has a rewarding early compulsion loop to encourage engagement. There's a reason the game industry is considered hit-driven. It's because hits consume a huge portion of the industry revenue, and they're hard to predict, especially with new IPs. Integrating the creation and growth sides of the business onto one platform where a developer can test a level or a whole game or a version with a different feature or compulsion loop mechanic and test these with real consumers. This is a huge step towards turning the guesswork and magic and adding a big share of science. The iterative process has applications beyond gaming. You've heard us talk about our traction digital twins business in industries like automotive, AEC, and retail. Each quarter, dozens of companies beyond gaming start using Unity creation tools to build digital twins. We see a huge opportunity to bring our growth technologies to many of these customers. And in fact, we're launching a digital twins platform to do just that at the end of this year. But let me examine one industry to help illustrate our thinking. Luxury retail. We're engaged now with some of the most important names in luxury goods. One ambition most share is to have a digital twin virtual try-on in the homes of their target consumers. A luxury boutique where you can use a millimeter accurate model of a customer's body to virtually try on clothes, match shoes, and purses to these outfits. This is likely a major part of their future. They need to go direct, but they want to do it with their own brand and not through a mass merchant online. We're working with programs like these now. But like in the games industry, our luxury retail partners are going to learn that engagement in their digital boutique and their content can find high engagement or low, effective user acquisition or expensive, high conversion to purchase or low. There's a need here for the same iterative process I described with games. Combining creation and growth is a big idea. Now, all right, I've been doing all the talking here. Let me turn the call over to the CEO of IronSource, Tomer, to tell you a bit more about IronSource and give you his perspective on the fit and opportunities we see ahead. Tomer?
Thank you, John, and hi, everyone. I won't go through all of these numbers, but what I will say is they are a testament to the very hard work of our 8 co-founders and amazing IronSource teams who have succeeded in creating a fast-growing, profitable market leader. If I had to choose one reason why IronSource has been so successful, it's our platform-based approach to the app economy and our success in executing on it. The platform-based approach means constantly adding more solutions, more tools, more technologies to go deeper with providing value to developers. What we typically see is that customers will land on our platform using 1 or 2 solutions and expand to additional solutions over time. The reason that happens is because those solutions together are powering their increased business success. This is evident in our amazing dollar-based net expansion rate. And of course, our business model is aligned with our customers. So when they grow, we grow with them. When thinking about the next big step, the key missing part in our platform offering is the creation part. This is why we're so excited about this today, because we believe that this combination is transformative, and it's the dream platform for what the app economy really needs. With Unity, that vision is now complete, And I'm very excited to start executing on it together. When we look at it from the creator's point of view, we're now able to provide them with literally everything they need to succeed. But the power of this combination is not just that we're offering every tool a creator needs to succeed. It's that we're putting them to work together with one another to better user experience and better businesses. Creators will get data feedback from users interacting with their content from day one. Let me give you an example. Our marketability testing tool allows creators to test product market fit of a game prototype and get feedback on whether that game is worth launching. Imagine that level of insight at every stage of the content lifecycle. Creators will be able to constantly improve their content and in doing so, unlock business success. In essence, we will be creating a flywheel in which data from growth drives improvements in creation, which in turn drives more business success for creators. I'm excited about this because we'll be empowering more creators to be more successful with our platform. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Tomer. We have long said that our goal is to be a full stack product and services company that is in it together with our creators through their product lifecycle and journey. IronSource brings a lot more than just a well-executing ad network. When we look at the combined business, we see a business that is far more balanced between creation and growth than some might understand. What we're showing you here is our expectation that we'll be evenly balanced between revenues we'd more associate with the creation side of the equation and revenues and activities we associate with user acquisition and growth. To put a fine point on it, while we see ourselves as one fully integrated platform in the future, we expect to be balanced in our revenue streams between creation and growth. And longer term, with the accelerated growth we're seeing in digital twins, to be greater than 50% on creation revenues. Getting a message on the Zoom here. Sorry about that. I think this balance is important. Our customers are creators and business people. We serve them both successfully. The key point here is that our combination will bring great balance in our business model, and that's important for our customers and financial profile. Now that you know our shared vision, I'd like to turn now to 3 very specific synergies that will enable greater customer success and for the new Unity to get to a $1 billion EBITDA run rate in 2024. But before I do that, I want to speak to a subject in which many of us here have strong conviction. I do certainly. The long-term durability of the ads and monetization business in gaming. I know many of you are worried about the macro outlook for the ads business. And in fact, it seems that not a day goes by when we don't see a report or an expert transcript announcing the end of digital ads. Here's where experience and data gives us an advantage. We see the data, not just at a macro level, but at a granular, daily, or even hourly basis. Is engagement slowing? Yes. In fact, we reported that 3 months ago with our Gaming Report 2022. COVID sent people home and they played games for entertainment. But we also have data showing that engagement is sustained much elevated versus pre-COVID periods. I've also been in the game industry for a long time, and I know that once people discover gaming, they stick around. Now, ads are an essential part of almost all content monetization. It's not going away. It's the way that brands connect with consumers, whether they're buying a Tide detergent, a Ford F-150, or a $1 app purchase. Even Netflix is considering an ad-based offering. In mobile games, depending on which study you look at, approximately 3 to 5% pay via app purchases. That statistic means that performance ads are central to the gaming ecosystem. This is a business that historically has grown through good times and bad, and in our opinion, digital game advertising, while not recession-proof, will be far less impacted by recession cycles, the one that may be on the horizon or the one after that. And there are a few reasons for that. Unlike with TV, in-game ads are a positive. Creators build their compulsion groups around ads as players can earn the items they want by engaging in ads. In fact, gamers report they actually like ads, and data shows that in-game advertising increases player engagement. This ought to be the envy of every other ad-driven content sector. Meanwhile, monetization is a great business. Look no further than IronSource, and you'll see what I mean. This is a business with high gross and operating margins. We know this market. We see a rare opportunity at this time to unlock value. First for our customers by making our platform more complete, and then for our combined company and shareholders. But before we get there, let's dig a little bit deeper into the synergies I mentioned earlier. I want to speak directly to 3 very near-term synergies we expect to realize shortly after closing. First, monetization is a business where data and scale matter. When you have more data, you deliver better results for customers. And since monetization is a shared game, revenue share business model, where customers win, we win. Second is mediation. I will speak to this in a moment, but gaining direct access to IronSource's industry-leading level play mediation platform will add immediately to our combined strength. This is an instance where when you run more data across the same tool set, you generate better customer outcomes from a full stack solution that works seamlessly. And third is supersonic. This is an amazing business. In fact, IronSource deserves a big hat tip for executing so well on this business model. This is an example of IronSource's drive and innovation. They've solved a huge problem for long-tail developers and generated great returns for their shareholders in the process. And as I will explain in a moment, there is immediate synergy resulting from integrating Supersonic into the Unity engine. Let's take these one at a time. In this shifting world, data matters. We don't collect, nor do we want sensitive personal information. We don't need to know the name of your best friend. We just want to know who is more or less likely to download a game or make a purchase. That requires understanding not just millions, but billions of mostly contextual data points. Success in monetization depends on data, and the combination of Unity and IronSource makes for a data advantage both in scale and the diversity of data types. Finding those 3 to 5% of mobile gamers who make in-app purchases isn't easy, and in fact, it's a bit of an arms race to see how marketers can succeed within the confines of shifting rules that walled garden platforms enact. The fact that it's not just the amount of data that you have. Your customers benefit when you have more diverse sources of data. Diversity makes your data more robust, and it can improve customer return on ad spend. By combining forces with IronSource, we'll improve the breadth and depth of our data. We expect our return on ad spend to improve, and that benefit will accrue to our customers and then to us. Mediation. Okay, so this should surprise no one. Unity needs a leading mediation solution. Mediation is an important component of a seamless full-stack monetization solution, and is not just our opinion. Market statistics support the assertion that IronSource's level play mediation solution is an important, successful, and growing business. Mediation is important. Level play has a strong position in the space. This is a gap we need to fill, and we can now do that at a much greater scale and speed. And adding Unity strengths in demand and data will help make level play that much stronger. Finally, we see a big synergy in bringing Supersonic to Unity creators. Let's remind ourselves of what Supersonic does. They serve long-tail mobile game developers. These developers are often long on creativity, but short on money and sophistication for user acquisition and engagement management. Supersonic solves this problem for them by managing and paying for user acquisition, and then providing these developers with sophisticated data and dashboards to help them improve the engagement of their games. This is an amazing, positive ecosystem, enabling the success of smaller developers. And remember, in gaming, the small developer of today can become tomorrow's global giant. Back to that story about Candy Crush. When I first saw the game, King was a very small developer. The synergy here is simple and obvious. Supersonic has a great solution for Unity developers, especially the long tail. These same solutions, in part, can also be helpful to game publishers. The challenge is finding these customers and getting them on the Supersonic tools. Most of the developers are using Unity to create games, and they worry and fret about how they're going to get the money and sophistication to build their business. We can introduce Supersonic to precisely the right creators at the right time, driving success for more creators and better outcomes for our shareholders. This one is chocolate and peanut butter. Now let me turn this back to Tomer to share some thoughts on the combination and to address his shareholders.
Thank you, John. We're very excited about the future with Unity. Firstly, because of the shared vision you heard from both John and I in this presentation. We believe this combination is transformational and position us to lead our category and beyond by providing real differentiated value to customers, both short and long term. Joining forces sets us to unleash the full power and potential of Unity's Create business, to drive more successful creation and creators in the app economy and beyond. This provides an unparalleled opportunity for IronSource stakeholders to participate in this journey. The all-stock transaction values IronSource at approximately $4.4 billion, representing a 74% premium to the 30-day average exchange ratio. By owning slightly more than a quarter of the combined entity, IronSource investors will be able to benefit from the opportunity of a significant financial upside ahead. Because we're taking full equity, the IronSource founders, management, and board are fully aligned and bought into the potential of this combination. We have a full conviction in the short vision ahead and in taking an active leading role in executing on it. And we think this will drive amazing benefit for customers, employees, and shareholders too.
Thanks, Tomer. So thanks for sticking with us as we discuss the highlights of the combination of Unity and IronSource. Before I turn this over to Luis and to go into the transaction in more detail, I want to remind people of the highlights. First, we have a shared vision to combine creation and growth into a single platform that will result in better games, more successful user acquisition and engagement, and more success for our customers, and a much increased take rate for us. Second, we see three clear, near-term, and durable synergies around data scale, mediation, and Supersonic that are expected to drive greater customer success, and as a result, enable us to achieve an adjusted EBITDA run rate of $1 billion by the end of 2024. Third, the combination of Unity and IronSource creates a company with revenues and businesses where the models are in balance. With that, I will turn the call over to Luis.
Thank you, John. I will start by explaining the key financial terms of the transaction. This is an all-stock deal that values IronSource at $4.4 billion which represents a 74% premium to the 30-day average exchange ratio. Once closed, Unity shareholders will own approximately 73.5% of the new company, and IronSource shareholders will own the balance 26.5%, which reflects an exchange ratio of 0.1089 Unity shares for each IronSource share. The board of directors for the new company will include 3 directors from IronSource. One of the 3 directors will be Tomer, and the other 2 will be named at a later date. In addition, key members of IronSource management team will assume leadership roles in the new company. The skills and capabilities from the combined team will enable us to offer creators the unique and unified platform that John described a few minutes ago, unlocking a more profitable business and enabling us to continue to fund even more innovation while building shareholder value. Tel Aviv will become a new hub for Unity. We see Tel Aviv as a key location for our operations for the foreseeable future and an important source of talent for our company. This is where IronSource was founded, and it is home for over 850 employees that we look forward to welcoming at Unity upon closing. The merger is subject to customary regulatory approval and other conditions and is subject to shareholder votes at IronSource and Unity. We expect to close the transaction in the fourth quarter of 2022. There is a no-stop provision and mutual termination fee equivalent to 3% of the transaction equity value. Unity and IronSource will each independently announce second quarter results in a few weeks. For now, I will say that IronSource reaffirmed its second quarter and full year guidance as provided during its first quarter earnings call. Unity expects its second quarter financial results to be slightly higher than the top end of the guidance range as Unity's Create business continues to perform strongly, and the company's engineering and data interventions in Operate are resulting in improved performance. And while the company expects ongoing strong performance in Create and continued progress in Operate, Unity is adjusting its full year revenue guidance from 1350 to 1425 to 1300 to 1350 million to reflect our current assessment of macro trends, product launch, and competitive dynamics with our monetization business. We will discuss our full results and guidance in detail in a few weeks during the second quarter earnings call. This combination, I want to go back to the combination. This combination transforms Unity's financial profile as of day one after closing into a highly profitable and cash flow positive company. John and Tomer shared how combining the two companies generates significant synergies. They discussed 3 buckets. First, more data from more diverse sources. Second, a best-in-class mediation engine in Level Play. And third, Supersonic, a game launch optimization engine. In addition, we expect the combined company to unlock significant cost synergies that will start in the first year and scale over time. We anticipate over 300 million in annual EBITDA synergies by year 3. And we expect a 1 billion in adjusted EBITDA run rate at the end of 2024, which will continue to expand thereafter. Silver Lake and Sequoia, the 2 largest Unity shareholders, are investing another $1 billion in Unity, demonstrating their belief in the value creation potential. Specifically, we have entered into an agreement with Silver Lake and Sequoia to issue a $1 billion in privately placed convertible notes to be issued contingent upon closing the acquisition. These convertible notes will have a maturity of 5 years, a 2% coupon, and a conversion price of $48.89 per share. This investment underscores the long-term commitment from some of our largest existing shareholders and their strong belief in the opportunity ahead for Unity. Last, in connection with this transaction, the Unity Board of Directors also authorized a 24-month share buyback program of up to $2.5 billion effective upon closing of the merger, which reduces dilution caused by the transaction. As mentioned before, with this transaction, Unity will be free cash flow positive as of day 1 after closing. Next, we're very excited about the steps we're taking to offer a fully integrated platform that helps creators in every step of their real-time 3D journey, and the value that Unity and IronSource can create together for creators and shareholders. With that, let me turn the call back to Richard for the Q&A session.
Great, thank you very much. So we have several people that you've just heard talk, as well as other management from both IronSource and Unity to answer any questions you have for the next 15 minutes or so. So if you're a panelist, I think we'll promote you, Kenneth or Thomas, and then whoever it is can ask a question.
Is the mic open?
Oh, there we go. Yep, there's Martin.
Hi, Richard. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Great. My question is on. Thanks for taking my question. My question is on Supersonic. I think the product is known for publishing games in hyper-casual and games that are monetized only through in-app advertising. So is the integration of Supersonic to Unity opens doors for more variety of games, as well as maybe expansion to larger developers for that tool?
Sure. Hi, Martin. Good to hear from you. The idea with Supersonic is a software solution that is basically productizing and automizing publishing. It enables a further full democratization, right, of content creation for the long tail of the category. So if you're a small indie developer, what this combination will do is Supersonic and some other marketability tools will enable all different type of game developers to have a lot of insights that will help them better create games. So imagine a situation where you're starting to develop a game, and thanks to Supersonic and other tools that we'll have, from day one, you'll be able to know if you're spending your time developing the right game, the game that has the highest chances of launching, and if so, to be profitable at scale. So I think it would be fair to say that Supersonic is the platform of choice for hyper-casual developers, but by all means, not just. And we plan to make it deeply integrated into the game engine so that we provide all these insights for the game developers as early as the first day of their initial effort to start developing the game.
And to build on Tomer's answer, in the early narrative, I was talking about luxury goods. That's the same idea. We think this has application to a much broader array of games built off the Unity engine, and also in our fast-growing digital twins business. These are sectors and industries, companies really, that have very little experience in that iterative process. And I think absent tools like this, a lot of them are going to make beautiful things that don't work for their customers, and we can solve for that.
Thank you, Tomer. Thank you, John.
Great. Matt, I see your virtual hand up. Matt Cost.
All right. Well, you need to open his line, Richard.
It should be open. Kenneth, it's open, right? And Thomas.
Yeah, let's move on to the next person.
I'll move on. Clark Lampin at BTIG.
Hey guys, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I have just one quick one on competitive dynamics, and I'd like to understand, I guess, from Tomer and from John, and I guess whomever else wants to chime in, how you think competitive dynamics, I guess, in sort of the monetization services market more broadly for the end customer is going to change. I understand that you guys see yourselves as a one-stop shop for sort of optimizing launch and sort of growing games over time. So from a performance standpoint, how is sort of the genesis of Sonic and Unity ads over time going to improve end customer performance, or what is the goal, I guess, on the monetization side for combining these operations and hopefully driving something that's greater than, I guess, just the respective sum of parts?
So I'll take the beginning of that, and others can join in. Just if you think about the competitive landscape, which is what you started with, there's a number of players in the market. Obviously, Google is one, Facebook is another. There are other, more specifically targeted smaller players in the monetization and ads business, and we compete with them. What we're really doing here, I think, is a couple of things. One is the straight addition of data, getting to greater scale. And then the tools additions that I described earlier in today's presentation will enable us to yield much better outcomes for our customers, and we can grow through that. Supersonic is a separate thesis, and that thesis is there is a huge portion of this industry that doesn't find it easy to engage with any of these companies, from Google to Facebook to us to others, because they don't have the resources and sophistication to use these tools out of the box, nor do they have the dollar resources to engage either. And so here we believe we can provide at much greater scale access to actually building a great business. Now, there's a lot more going on in competitive dynamics, and folks like Omer and Ingrid or Tomer may want to add to that.
And just building on John, I think to stay on the ads market, as John mentioned, is highly dynamic, and we must continue to innovate to stay at the forefront of the market. With IronSource, we have an opportunity to significantly accelerate our roadmap to immediately deliver value through better performance for our customers. This deal really brings together Unity Ads and the rest of Unity Gaming Services offerings with IronSource's best-in-class mediation and publishing platform, giving our developers a seamless and interoperable way to grow and monetize their business and make informed decisions to run a robust and profitable business.
All right. And Matt, did you want to talk again or not? Do you have a question?
I wanted to talk the first
There
time,
you
but
go.
I was unable to do that due to my own technology issues. But thank you for taking me. So two, if I could. So I guess thinking about the way that you're going to combine or run the combined entity, are you planning to run products that historically competed with each other separately, or merge them, into one combined product and then sort of realize synergies that way? Or is a $300 million synergy over the next couple of years, is that really more of a revenue synergy than a cost synergy? And then just thinking about the full year guidance for Unity. So 2Q is going to come in ahead of where you expected it to be previously. The full year you're taking down a little bit. You mentioned a couple of different factors from macro to kind of product pipeline. But I guess what has changed, from when you reported the quarter until now that's causing you to take down the full year? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Luis, is that you? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to start, John, or do you want to take that?
I might start with the highest level thesis, which is, first off, there's just some, completely separate and autonomous and advantages that don't require any merger. Both of us using and getting, the advantage of the level play mediation platform, combining data. That'll be a huge and positive win. As we move forward, we expect a combination of revenue and cost synergies. As expected, anything like that. In terms of the exact specifics around how we merge teams, that's something we're going to work on between now and close, and have we'll share more with that in future calls.
Yeah, the other pieces of your question, Matt, the synergies we talked about, the $300 million, we haven't broken out publicly between revenue synergies and cost synergies. So we'll do that, but we'll do that later. We think we'll do that probably after closing, right? That's in one of our first calls. We'll provide you more details and we'll provide you more visibility on how that's going to happen. In terms of the reduction in our guidance, I don't want this to be an earnings call, so I won't go too deep. But yeah, the reasons we mentioned, it's really a combination of macro trends when we're launching our products, the competitive dynamics that we're seeing, and it's 100% driven by our monetization business. So that's the answer to that, Matt, without getting into an earnings call here.
I think we're pointing out, though, as part of that the engineering and data issues we discussed on our last earnings call, the monetization team is addressed, and those are fixed, and data is replenishing, and so that was a very positive achievement last quarter.
Excellent, thanks.
See, Jason.
Thanks. I just had one quick question. As we sort of smash these two companies together in a pro forma model, are there anything that we should be aware of in terms of major accounting differences between the two companies? I was sort of thinking of the gross versus net revenue recognition for some of the items. Just any sort of help there.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, we've done significant diligence, and without getting into too much details, no, there are no significant differences. Maybe a little bit on stock-based compensation recognition, but really minor. We both follow US GAAP, and our accounting is very similar.
Okay, thank you.
Franco.
Hi, yeah, thanks for taking my question, everyone. I have a question really on product integration. I think everyone's been talking about how you're planning to integrate level play into your platform, but I think some other components are also worth asking, such as the Luna creatives and obviously the Vidalgo products from IronSource. So I guess, will you be including those within Unity Engine for your developer studios?
Maybe I'll start with that. So the offering that Luna, we're calling the combination of Vidalgo and the original Luna, we're calling it Luna, and it's basically a marketing software for developers that can manage all of their creative automation and all of their user acquisition on all channels from that software. And it's also an area of great synergy, because if you connect that capabilities to a developer at an early phase and you allow them seamlessly to manage all of their marketing more effectively on all channels, it's also a great area of synergies, which will, of course, we'll plan to post-closing on what's the best way to combine and unlock this synergy.
Thank you.
Great. We probably have time for one more question. We got one question on email because we needed to get people on as well, and it was just more about, kind of talking about the product roadmap on mediation and stuff like that, in terms of like how what we have, how we're going to think about kind of growing the product roadmap, especially with that Lego block slide that we had. So if we have any color on that, that would be great.
Yeah, I think that's probably color we'll provide, product roadmap, more detail later, but, obviously doing all the logical things to achieve the growth, ambitions we have. So, Richard, why don't we wrap?
Perfect. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of your interest and support, and we'll talk to you on our regularly scheduled earnings call